All right. Welcome, everyone, to week 2 of the show. So excited here. I have my favorite people with us. Zach, welcome to the show. Donahue, Mast, welcome to the show. James, thank you for doing this with me every week. I feel like we've been doing this for forever. So thank you guys for coming. So waiver wires ran through. I got Elijah Mitchell, and I got him for what I think is fairly cheap. So what are your thoughts on you? Why didn't you make a bid on Elijah Mitchell? Why do you think he's not worth even $5 of your fab? And James and Zach, how does it feel to know that I beat y'all out on Elijah Mitchell? Let's start with Donahue, then we'll go to Zach and then James. Go ahead, Mass, what you got?
I just thought that the running back for the Broncos was worth a lot more, and that
Well, it's a good thing you got him too. Oh, wait, no, that was me too. Okay, sorry.
yeah, I'm thinking about just going full in and spending $100 next week on a kicker or something, because this fab system is overrated. Yeah, the 49ers running backs they change like every week. So last year, Breida was Breida even on the team? I don't remember. But it would change every week. So I didn't want to risk it with him. They're very running back by committee. But yeah, the Broncos running back, I'm not happy about. So there you go.
Zach, how'd you feel losing out on Elijah Mitchell? Why didn't you bid higher?
Honestly, I'm kind of happy. I think you took him. I wasn't even sure I really wanted to get that $14 in. I'm just not confident in the situation going forward. I don't want to play on my bench where it's like I'm not sure, is he going to play? Is he going to get a lot of reps? Is it going to switch off to somebody else? I am happy for you though. It's nice to see you get a win in somewhere this week. So.
James.
Oh man, so I did want to get Elijah Mitchell. I saw, obviously Mostert is out for the rest of the season, so I thought this would be a great pickup. Just have another solid right back on my bench. But last year, man, you bashed anyone that spent their fab on any player, and you kept saying, "Oh, why would you even spend? Don't you know that it's only the first week?" And so I actually started off with a $5 bid. Then I was like, well, maybe I'll do 7 because someone's going to do 5. And I was like, okay, well, now that's out there, that's not an 8-week. It's a whole season thing. I'm going to go ahead and put it up to 16. I dropped back to 11. Then I finally settled. I'll do 16 just in case someone does 15. I did not think that the person that was going to outbid me at $28 was going to be you. And so I was actually really thankful that I didn't have to do even spend $16. Again, I have a pretty solid group of running backs, but having one more couldn't hurt.
Why do you hate the 49ers, James? I'm just curious. So yeah, I went on a roller coaster of emotions. I put a $5 bid, I put a $35 bid, I put a $10 bid, I put a $15 bid, and finally my logic was, look, I'm okay with getting Elijah Mitchell at $28. If someone wants him for more than $28, they can have him. They spent up to get him. I didn't want him to go for next to nothing. And this is my lottery ticket. And the way I'm viewing Fab this year is so different than I viewed it in the past. Chelsea does not agree with my view of Fab. I'm buying my player to use for the rest of the season in my mind. So in my mind, I'm paying $28 for Elijah Mitchell. I'm going to get 3 to 4 weeks out of use. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to make the playoffs, and I'll be very happy that I spent $28. So, and I believed in Javonte Williams. I wanted him at the draft. I was shocked that Kerry dropped him. And so, yeah, I wanted to spend up a little bit on that as well. So let's get into some of the matchups, gentlemen. Well, Zach and Donahue, I didn't ask you all this because y'all weren't here last week. So who's a player you wanted in the draft that you didn't get? Zach.
I think it's the one that pops in my head first is probably Austin Ekeler. I know you offered me a trade for him. And I've actually been thinking about it a lot.
Straight up Zeke for Ekeler. And and you're getting greedy. You're like, no, I want more. Like,
It's just
come on.
hard because it's the value. I think I don't know what I could get for Zeke if I paired him with somebody else for a trade, but Eckler would be the first one that pops in my head anyway. And then the backup for the Vikings running back, I'm skipping on his name, but I wanted him as well.
I think Mass, you drafted him, right?
No,
The
I don't-
backup.
Milan auto drafted him on accident.
Oh, good. All right, Donahue, who did you not get that you wanted?
Basically your team. Gibson, I liked a lot, and him not falling to me hurt, and then Trey Lance. I was going to take Trey Lance in the 12th, and you took him in the 12th.
I wanted to leave this draft with Hawkinson and Hurts and Gibson. But my ride or die guys this year are Hurts, Gibson, and Brandon Ayuk, which right now Brandon Ayuk is not looking like he's going to pay off for me. I really like him. I'm hoping that whatever Kyle Shanahan has up his sleeve will pay dividends in the future. I got worst manager this week. I was this close to playing Antonio Brown, and I chickened out at the last second, literally 3 seconds before the game started. I switched him out. I chickened out. I should have just gone with it. And, I'm suffering 0-1 for this week. So Zach, I'm hoping to bounce back this week playing Alex. Look at my matchup. Me versus Alex. I feel really confident. I think Jalen Hurts is still going to do his thing. I think he'll be a great option to put up at least 22 points this week. I think Eckler has a bounce back week against Dallas. I feel great about Antonio Gibson, especially with Fitzpatrick going down and them having a not proven seasoned veteran who's going to have some handoffs, some check downs. So looking at my matchup, do you think I have a shot to take down my favorite team in the league, Alex? Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks pretty good for you this week, but I think Alex has a lot of guys that could really, really blow up. Like Cooper Kupp is one that comes to mind. I think Justin Herbert's going to have a good game, but I'm a big fan of his. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to do great, especially against San Francisco. I would probably say give it to you, but it's a lot closer than like the percentages. It says 62 you, 38 him. I think it'll be a lot closer. But I'd probably give it to you.
Okay, what do you think, Mast?
Yeah, I think you're gonna win. He's looks like he's forced to start either Callaway, Parker, or Rager at flex because Odell's out again. Yeah, so those aren't great options. And Edwards-Helaire didn't do amazingly last week. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
So Mast, I'm curious. Do you think what are your thoughts on Logan Thomas? So you're with me. You like McLaurin, you like Gibson. Do you think that Logan Thomas is a good option to roll with at tight end, or would you rather go with like Gerald Everett, Cole Kmet, those types of players that offer more upside on slightly more potent offenses? What do you think?
Why do you think that Logan Thomas wouldn't offer more upside?
I don't see Washington as we're going to put up 30 plus points a game. And I don't think Logan Thomas is the real deal. And that's just, again, don't listen to my calls. I got all of them wrong last week. If you listen to my advice, you definitely lost your matchup because I made the worst calls possible. But I don't like Logan Thomas. So I'm just curious. You maybe are a little bit more familiar with the Washington football team. Would you think that he's a viable option for the tight ends, or would you rather take your shot on someone else?
No, I like Logan Thomas a lot more than all those guys we just named. He almost, at least last year, I haven't seen what he did in week 1. I know
he broke out last year. So last year was his big breakout year. Yeah.
But last year he was on the field like the whole year. Like he never came off the field. Whereas like Dallas Goedert comes off the field all the time. A bunch of other tight ends will come off the field. But even when they're in like 5 wide in Washington, they'll just have him out as a receiver. So I think the fact that he's always on the field gives him a higher ceiling. So I like him a lot more than those guys that you just named.
Okay, James, do you have any thoughts or opinions on roster construction or who you think is going to win?
I kind of think I'm going to go with Alex to win this week, and a couple of reasons. I think that Herbert does have a better matchup against Dallas. Dallas gave up a lot of points to Tampa Bay last week, and I think Herbert's going to be able to handle that a little bit better. Of course, Hurts got a good shot against the Niners, especially if they get to the last 2 minutes of the game. They'll just give up, 3 or 4 touchdowns at the end there for him. But if that doesn't happen, then I don't see him doing as well against the Niners that Herbert would be against Dallas. I also see Kamara is projected to do better. I also think he's going to be against Carolina, facing the opposing running back, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, and you know that they're going to want a battle to see who's the best running back that game. And I feel like Kamara could really outscore this week. I also think that Matthew Stafford showed that his favorite target is Cup, and so I think that his cup is going to overflow it this week and outscore there. So I would probably remove the flex player, and I might even replace him with Drake on the bench just because I have Josh Jacobs and he's nursing a bruised toe. Drake got a lot of hits last week, and so I think he can maybe get some points out of him better than what he's got on the flex position now. He only got him Callaway got him 1.9 points last week. So I think if he does all that, he's got a pretty good shot against you. I think it's going to be closer, than we kind of think.
Yeah, obviously, I was a Kenyon Drake supporter last year. He left me disappointed. He looks good. I hate to say that because he broke my heart last year, but yeah, he's a solid player. I think he's a solid running back. He is obviously causing issues for Josh Jacobs, but man, a healthy Josh Jacobs is in a different league, a different category than Kenyon Drake. That guy is a monster. Watching him on Monday night, not at 100%, just break tackles, get the extra yardage, fight is just, it's amazing. I love Josh Jacobs. So yeah, great real life football player. Don't know how well he's going to play out in fantasy. But the human element that you bring in, James, is so important. I think sometimes we forget because we're looking at all the data that these are real people. And I have envisioned, yes, a Kamara McCaffrey battle. Who is the better running back? Who is the better fantasy running back? Now, one of them put up 6 touchdowns on Christmas last year to help someone get a title. So, someone has a little something to prove with his injuries. So let's move on to the next matchup. Chad versus Milkos. So I thought Milkos could have pulled out a win last week, but didn't work out in his favor. Maybe switching up a few things could really help him out. I'm curious on your thoughts on AJ Dillon. So you like high upside handcuffs, Zach. I think you've proven that over the years, maintaining a guy who maybe is in your mind a sleeper, but he's a great handcuff, a great high insurance to have. Is AJ Dillon worth rostering, or do you think you move on and cut bait with him and switch to someone else? What do you think? As the Kenny Gainwell owner or whatever that guy's name is. So.
I definitely think he's worth rostering. I feel like Green Bay running backs have always been weird. But I mean, anybody on a team with Aaron Rodgers, is gonna. Maybe I'm not making sense here, but I think playing against Aaron Rodgers, you're always gonna be worried about the pass, and that leaves a lot of room open for the run. So no, I think it's definitely worth holding on to.
Okay, now next question. So he's got Trey Sermon on his bench. James, as the residential 49er supporter, Trey Sermon this week, yes or no?
No. I'll probably go ahead and just drop him.
Well, as soon as he does that, $100 of fab money will go towards Trey Sermon. So what do you think, Mass? Looking at the lineups here, do you start Trey Sermon? Do you put him in place of Williams, the Baltimore running back? What do you think?
I would not start Trey Sermon. Williams, the Tyson Williams, is that his name? No, he did well, and
Yeah.
he almost never came off the field. I think they had Latavius Murray played a little bit. I was scared when Tyson Williams was playing against me, until Darren Waller started breaking out and I pulled away. So no, I would not. I think they kind of just like swung for the fences with all their signings of washed up running backs. So I think they're kind of relying on Tyson Williams.
So looking at the roster here, and obviously just do the opposite of what I'm suggesting. I have a gut call on Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis Landry will have a big game against Houston. I don't think Houston is the real deal. I don't think they're gonna put up monster points. And so yeah, give me Jarvis Landry all day over Tyson Williams. Or if you want to play Tyson Williams, take Mike Davis off the bench. Like the Falcons look horrible. Like they looked just utterly awful. Cordell Patterson
That's
looked
what
way
I-
better than Mike Davis. Yeah. All right. I'm glad you're on board with that. So looking at the matchup, who you got, James? Chad or Milkos?
I think I was gonna go with Milkos this week. I mean, Chad's got some good players. He obviously has Murray, who was awesome last week, but he was projected to go pretty high last week, which I thought he was kind of over projected, and I turned out I was right because I beat him pretty bad. But I don't know. The Green Bay Slackers didn't play very well last week. I think that they got a chance to score big points against Detroit, who gave up 40 plus points to the 49ers. But I don't see like Aaron Jones. He could do some damage, but the tight end Robert Tanya is not going to do much. I think Devontae Adams is going to blow up this week, especially again last week. The Lions they gave up 190 plus yards to Deebo Samuel. I can see Devontae Adams getting a pretty big game there. And so I kind of like his matchup, Milkos side a little bit better. I'm gonna go with Milkos, even though he's projected not to do as well.
So here's the thing. You're leading the division, so we need to listen to whatever you say, Master. You are now. The nice thing is I'm tied for second in our division,
That's right.
being 0-1. So
That's right.
I think we know who the weaker division is this year. It's
Right.
pretty obvious.
Come on.
Zach, who do you got? Zach, who do you got in this matchup, this game?
I'm gonna have to go with Team Chadlin. I just see Mike Davis against Tampa Bay. Jared Cook, who's trash, will probably fumble for negative points. I think it'll be closer than what like the percentages suggest, but I definitely think Chadlin will probably take it this week.
Yeah, well, Kyler Murray looks poised to be the number one
Yeah.
quarterback this season. So yeah, it's going to be a hard thing to overcome. All right, let's go to Don Rat versus Brett. So Don Rat, you're rolling famous Jameis out this week. That was a nice little pickup that you had on the waiver wire. Obviously, you're going to start Dalvin Cook. Explain to me your thought process in starting Leonard Fournette. Why do you feel like he's a viable start for you this week?
I don't.
So who's the running back you want, and what's the trade that you're offering?
I've already sent out a few trade offers. No, I actually think Leonard Fournette, he could be good. I don't trust anything that Bruce Arians ever says. He said that Ronald Jones was the starter, and then he got like 9 snaps, and he wasn't even the starter before he fumbled.
He's out of the doghouse now. He's the starter again.
Yeah, right. Leonard Fournette was the 3rd pick in the draft, like 4 years ago, or whatever, 5 years ago, whatever that was. He's really good. He's better than Ronald Jones, and so I think they're going to roll with him. And he didn't look bad against the Cowboys. It was just like they could just pass for 1 million yards thrown to Antonio Brown, so they did that. So yeah, Atlanta's run defense was awful against the Eagles last week.
So that'll lead me over to Zach. Zach, Mass is currently rostering Calvin Ridley. Is Calvin Ridley still in contention to be a number 1 wide receiver, or is Mass team hurting at this point?
I have a lot of faith in his football acumen. So I feel like if somebody could dig his way out of a tough situation, it's probably him. Calvin Ridley, I like him. Definitely gonna be a tough week this week. But no, I mean, I wouldn't say he's out of contention at all. I forget kind of what your specific question was, but
Well, yeah, so that was my question. Now, looking at the lineup here, do you then start Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods, Tyler Lockett, or do you maybe shoot for some crazy upside and go with Devontae Smith, the number one wide receiver on the Eagles, versus the number one wide receiver on the Falcons, and just wait and see what happens with Calvin Ridley?
I would probably just leave it how it is. I mean, Robert Woods is trash on a trash team, so I don't see him doing anything, but he doesn't have much of a better option. I would say maybe start Tony Pollard because he seems to be doing pretty well and getting a lot of snaps for the Cowboys. But no, I would probably just leave it the way it is. Maybe do something about your defense and just hope Brett starts Raheem Mostert, which he probably will.
Would you start Devontae Smith over Woods?
I would personally. Devontae Smith is the number one. Woods did not show himself to be the number one. As James pointed out, Cooper Kupp seemed to be the number one. Apparently, they get to the field 2 hours beforehand, and he and Stafford and warm up. I think they're going to adopt a Cambodian baby together. So, yeah, I would go Devontae Smith, but that's because I'm not scared off with the 49ers defense. Did you see what happened with Detroit? I think they showed their hand, and I don't think there's going to be much that they can do to stop the Eagles putting up points. The Eagles look solid, man. Now, granted, it was Atlanta, but they looked just poised to get back to that Super Bowl victory or that Super Bowl mindset. So I really am impressed with the Eagles. And Devontae Smith showed up as a rookie. He showed up and he showed, hey, I'm the alpha, not Jalen Reagor. Zach, what were you gonna say? And then
Yeah,
let's get
I would
James's
definitely
thoughts.
start Robert Woods over him. Just I don't trust Eagles receivers unless you're Deshaun Jackson. And so, that I feel like that could be a game where the Eagles fall apart against the 49ers. They have those games, and they're also kind of a little bit of a garbage team. So I would definitely say Robert Woods. He's at least shown himself to be consistent. And Matthew Stafford has played one game with the Rams. Who knows what he'll do with Robert Woods this week?
Isn't Deshaun Jackson on the Rams?
He is. I would only trust him as an Eagle, though. Or trust the
All
Eagles when he's on the Eagles.
All right, James, what you got, man? Who do you got in this matchup?
Well, I wanted to go with spicy meatloaf on this one. I think he's got Tom Brady, who I guess we gotta settle what the milk bet's gonna be. I know I have to drink 2 cups of milk. I don't know what I have to do, but darn you, Tom Brady. But he's gonna go up against Atlanta. I think he's gonna find Godwin a couple times, or at least once in the end zone and go for him for some long balls. Mozart, obviously. One thing I want to say is why did you not even try to put a waiver bid in for Elijah Williams, or what's his name, for the Niners? What am I talking about? Spicy meatloaf. What's your problem, man? You already don't have a great running back situation. Barkley didn't do much last week for the Giants, and he did nothing in 2020. Granted, he was hurt, but still. So, but again, he's got Thielen, he's got Kelsey, but then Donrat's got Waller, and he's got Lockett. You know what? Never mind. I'm switching over. I'm going Donrat.
Yeah, I'm going Donrat too. Waller is 19 targets, man. That's insane. 19 targets for a tight end. He is tight ends. If you can get a solid tight end like that, Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, Hawkinson. Yeah. Hopefully you're gonna win. And I think that's the difference maker here. You have Kelsey versus Waller though. So it'll be a fun matchup. I have to go Donrat too, just because of the running back situation. Let's go Matt versus Drew. So Drew, not looking so hot in your return from playing for the finals, the championship last year. Don't worry, I'm not looking hot either. But Drew is trying to overcome last week's loss and hopefully going to take out Matt, who Matt is trying to overcome some injuries. But man, Miles Sanders balled out last week. I'm excited to see what Sanders is going to do this year. Not someone I believed in, not someone I thought was going to be worthwhile. He was on my personal do not draft list, but man, he passed the eye test and he got 3 targets last week. He is obviously really involved in the offense. Derrick Henry, though, on the other side, going up against the Seahawks. This should be a bounce back game for Derrick Henry. Kareem Hunt, to me, was another surprise. I don't know if it was the revenge narrative against the Kansas Chiefs or Kansas City Chiefs or what that got him so involved, but man, he looks like a focal point of that offense. He's the 1-2 punch with Nick Chubb. So these are solid teams, but again, Kittle versus Higbee. Like Tyler Higbee is a great tight end. He is obviously someone that Stafford trusts. Stafford looked to him several times, but who do you have in this matchup? Any start sit decisions you got, James?
No, not necessarily any start sit decisions. Looking at the lineup earlier, I was thinking that I would go with Coach Cass just because again, he's got a lot of players in his team that were shut down pretty bad last week, but they're definitely much better than what their points were. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs. I think they're all going to make a statement this week and have a much better upside than they did last week. And again, yeah, I liked Kareem Hunt as kind of a sneaky pick. I guess not so sneaky, but he did great. Kittle's great as long as he doesn't fumble any footballs or anything like that. But yeah, I probably would go with Coach Cass.
Zach, what do you think? Who do you got? Aaron Rodgers over Josh Allen? Question mark.
I would stick with Josh Allen. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do well this week, but I would, especially because it's Detroit, but I would just stick with Josh Allen. I'm a big fan of his. Honestly, I would pick Cass easily. He's just looking at his team now. He has some of my favorite players: Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Stephon Diggs, Robbie Anderson, George. These are all players I always want on my team every year. So, I give it to him. And then, Matt's got some, Miles Sanders going to give way to Kevin Gainwell, Tyler Higbee, garbage. So
Tyler Higbee is not garbage. Okay.
he's a Ram. No, I'm just kidding. No, but definitely Cass. I would say, keep it as it is. I love his team, honestly.
Mast?
Yeah, I would go with Coach Cass. The Terrence Marshall, Tyler Higbee, Devin Singletary trio, I think is going to be his downfall. Like Devin Singletary, I think they ran the ball 9 times. They had 9 run plays called, and that's not including Josh Allen scrambling. But like they had 9 run plays called in Buffalo. They just on the ball. Don't know what's going to go on with Zach Moss. I don't know why he was a healthy scratch. That was weird. And then Terrence Marshall and Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee actually I do think might be not that good. I think he might just be doing a little bit better because Stafford's there. Maybe he is good. Maybe I'm wrong. But Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, George Kittle, I think these are all pieces that are trumping.
Yeah, that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack is nothing to shake a finger at. It's a deadly stack there. So, all right, let's go to Matt's spouse, Carrie. So Carrie had a win last week. She is hoping Najee Harris and the Steelers figure it out this week. I have a sneaky suspicion that Najee Harris is going to be a top 5 running back. I'm not trying to take a milk bet on that. I just have a sneaky suspicion. I think he'll be a top 5 running back this week. My biggest surprise from her team is Damian Harris. I don't believe in the Belichick running backs. I don't believe in Patriots running backs. He looked good, man. He looked really good. He looked really involved. She obviously has crazy upside players, and she's going against some joker who shouldn't have won last week, but I guess every blind squirrel finds a nut. So, Mast, who do you have in this matchup? What are your start sit decisions?
Man, it's tough. I think I'll go with Zach. But I don't know if it's I don't know. You're really high on Mike Williams. I don't know. I don't think you're high on Noah Fant. I think you just kind of drafted him because you had to draft someone.
Yeah.
But Mike Williams, like, I don't know. He did really well last week, apparently. But he got 12 targets. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I just feel like he's always outpaid. He's the number 2 receiver on the team. And so eventually he's going to come back down to grace. I think you should probably. I mean, I don't know who else you'd start.
I like Miles Gaskins, man. I think you would do well to start him.
Over Williams.
Personally, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it's hard. Williams has high upside as long as he's healthy. He is someone who I went back and forth on whether or not I was going to draft, because if he's healthy, he's good. He just plays the game so physically, and he gets injured every time you see him come down with the ball. You're like, why are you body slamming yourself? Like, just land on your feet, man. Like, that's all you have to do. He likes to use his shoulders to break his fall. So
I think Zach will win. I think that Ezekiel Elliott will have 5 points, and I think Tyreek Hill will have 40.
yeah, I should have won that matchup last week. Stupid Tyreek Hill. James, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Zach's projected to win, but I don't know. He's got they both got great QBs. The thing is with Dak Prescott, he threw the ball 58 times last week. So that's a huge number of passing. Hardly use Elliott at all. So that puts him as a disadvantage if Prescott's going to throw the ball. And also, who's he going to throw the ball to? Amari Cooper, who was on Sticker Girls lineup, who scored 32 points last week. So, I mean, that's nuts. You got DK Metcalf. She's got a lot of upside as well. I don't know if Elliott does what he did last week and is not as involved, then I would for sure probably go with Sticker Girl over Zach. But if he's a performer, then it's Zach. It's hard to say. It's too much of a coin flip for me. But if I had to lean one way, I might go towards Sticker Girl right now.
Yeah, this is a really good matchup. You have the Rams defense versus Washington's defense. You have Kyle Pitts, Noah Fant. Again, with the Judy injury, that bodes well for Noah Fant. This is gonna be an exciting one. I am so glad I am not Zach this week. All right, Zach. Do you believe in yourself, or are you giving it to Carrie? You can't reverse jinx, okay? So give me a legitimate answer. Who do you think is going to win? Do you have confidence in your team?
I think I will win if I can pick the right players between Edmonds or Gaskin and Mike Williams and like T. Higgins. I think if I can pick the right guys, I'll win. Tyreek Hill on my team, Patrick Mahomes on her team. And again, like James mentions, Dak Prescott to Amari Cooper. I don't know. I think I'll win. I just got to get it right. That's the only thing. I got to get it right.
Do you have enough courage to start Tannehill this week over Dak Prescott?
No, I don't. He's no Jake Locker, that's for sure.
So finishing it up here, let's go to the number 1 in their division, James, versus the number 2 in their division, Gobble Gobble. So Lamar Jackson versus Trevor Lawrence. This one is weird. Lamar Jackson didn't look particularly good on Monday, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know if he returns to form against the Chiefs, who have a solid defense. I also don't really believe in Trevor Lawrence, but he's going up against the Broncos. They don't have a great secondary. If he can get the ball out fast, or he can avoid the blitz, which he's obviously mobile enough to do that, maybe he does something. He threw 3 touchdowns last week, but he also threw 3 interceptions. So with Jameis Winston already gone, there's a few other quarterbacks who I personally like more than Trevor Lawrence. I like Baker Mayfield against Houston a lot this week. I think he is poised to do well. I like Big Ben against the Raiders as well this week. So, and on the other side of the ball, Teddy Bridgewater against Jacksonville, he'll get it done. So those are options that I like more than Trevor Lawrence. Mass, I'd love to know what you think about the quarterback situation on Foosballer's team.
I think Trevor Lawrence is not going to do well. Denver's defense is really good. Last year they weren't good just because they didn't have corners, and that was it. And they went out and got 2 good corners. And it's supposed to rain apparently. I see a little cloudy rain logo next to Denver. It's going to be in Jacksonville. So I have very little faith in Urban Meyer to be a decent head coach in the NFL because he was just a cheater in college. It's the only reason he did well. So I don't like Trevor Lawrence at all this week. Maybe another week when it's not rainy and not against Denver.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball, don't know how I didn't notice this. Eric, you're killing our league. You have 3 quarterbacks. You have Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson, and Lamar Jackson. Do you know that you have Lamar Jackson? Why are you rostering anyone else? That make our league better. Don't roster that many quarterbacks. It's just you look foolish. You're hurting our team. You're hurting our league. If anyone saw this, I'd be so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Briella, Callie, if you guys see this, Daddy did not approve of this. I didn't think I had to limit the number of quarterbacks. I just thought we had smart people. Good thing you're not a chemical engineer or anything. So looking at the matchup though, yeah, I don't know that James can win this one. I think Gronk had a great game, and I think that was a big difference maker for you. He outperformed. Obviously, you didn't listen to me, which was great for you. But I don't think Gronk does it this week against against Atlanta. Like I don't know that they need him. I don't know that they use him that way. I think Bruce Arians is going to try and figure out his run game in this matchup against Atlanta. So maybe play Rojo instead of. Actually, no, yeah, that's awful, dude. He's your worst running back. You have solid running back, so looks like your lineup is pretty much set. Yeah, I think you should switch out Trevor Lawrence. I'm with there too. Zach, what's your advice?
I think it's gonna be a really tough week for James because Gobble has some real, star players. I say roll Trevor Lawrence. Just if it's going to be a tough game. Like it's not looking like you're going to win. So you might as well just, take the guy, the number 1 overall pick. And it could be like, maybe he scores 40 points. I don't know. He probably won't, but just throw him out there, see what happens. Also trade me Nick Chubb.
I would take a milk bet. I would take a milk bet on Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence scores over 18 points.
I don't think so either, honestly.
Can I take that bet to cancel out the milk that I already lost?
Do you want to?
So
then that's 4 cups of milk you have to drink.
What if we make it 3 cups of milk if I lose and only 1 cup of milk for you, but you have to run 2 miles? I don't know.
All right, I'll do that. 3 cups, 3 cups in a mile for you. And does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not a math guy.
I don't even know what we're doing for this milk bet. I just know I have to drink 2 cups of milk, but we didn't say if I'm doing burpees or if I'm running.
Yeah, we said we would figure that out later. All right. So yeah, I don't think Trevor Lawrence gets over 18 points at all. And you think he does? Like legitimately, you think he does?
Who, me?
No, I was talking to James. He's trying to take the milk bet here.
So here's the thing. I really did think I was going to drop Trevor Lawrence, and I did think about picking up Winston, and I may regret not doing it, but I just he was number 1 pick. I want to give him another shot he threw the ball 51 times. Yeah, he threw 3 picks, but he's throwing the ball a lot. So I know he's going to try to get the yardages, and he made up, those 3 interceptions with 3 touchdowns. So he was looking like he was going to score maybe 6 points, but he got up to 18 or whatever it was by the end of the game. So I'm hoping there's an upside. I'm hoping he's figured some things out. I want to give him at least one more chance there. Still, I'm nervous about it, but if I could cancel out this milk bet altogether, since we haven't thought of anything, then I would go ahead and say that he can do 18 points. I think he could do 18 points again. And if I lose, then we say I drink 3 cups of milk and I run a mile, or you want me to do 50 burpees?
Yeah. No, that's good. 3 cups in a mile.
Okay.
I'll drink 1 cup and I'll run 2 miles as fast as I can.
Oh, I'll run as fast as I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, but that's not even that fast.
I'm like a 12-minute mile pace.
So, all right, ready? Milk bet on. So, last bit of news, guys. So the league wanted a quarterback, right? The league wanted to win some kind of autographed memorabilia for a quarterback. So after doing a lot of scouting, a lot of analysis, this year we are playing for a signed Jalen Hurts Eagle football. So
No way.
I thought you were gonna say Michael
So-
Vick.
no. So I was able to get a autographed Eagles Jalen Hurts football. So that's what we're playing for this year. And I think he is poised to be the #1 quarterback, which is why I drafted him. And I also think Trey Lance has a great playoff schedule. So when I make the playoffs, I'm holding on to Trey Lance all year, Mass. So if you want him, you have to trade for him. But I really think when he gets to start, if he gets to start, he's going to be just amazing as well. So that's what we're playing for this year. If you're not excited, then just let me win and I'll put it up in my office. So yeah, thank you guys for the show. Thank you for joining us this week. I expected a little bit more banter. I thought Zach would be riding high on his victory of defeating the defending champ. And I was really certain you were going to make some kind of like daddy joke today, but you let me down, man. Where's the fire?
I don't know. Just there's nothing special about beating you. That's all.
I'll take that.
All right, Donahue, any final words?
Feels really good to really good to be a winner in week 1. I knew you wouldn't get it, but like, man, it just feels so good.
Yeah,
Batting 1,000.
James.
Hey, I was lowest projected points. Supposedly had the worst team out there. It feels good to be the #1 scorer this week and to have a win. There's nothing like waking up Tuesday morning, or nothing like going to bed Sunday night knowing that Monday doesn't even matter. So, but hey, I love you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That first week 1 win, that feels really good.
Hey, there was a chance Justin Tucker could have gotten like 30 points. There was always a chance, No, it was a good matchup, Zach. I thought I had it, and then Tyreek Hill, man, that guy is annoying. He's unreal. So
It was good to finally have him on
maybe-
my team for once.
yeah, maybe there's something to drafting those high upside wide receivers early on and not going with the running backs. It is hard for me to not want to get running backs on my team though. So also it's funny that you said you wanted Eckler because you had a pick before me and you took Ezekiel Elliott.
I know. Well, it's funny because when you ask that, I know it's the first round. It's like it's hard not to pick like the person that falls to you. It's hard not to pick that person. So
Yeah, well, Carrie, obviously, she took Najee Harris and she reached for him because she believes that he could do it this year. So she was not a coward, and she's trying to put us in our place, gentlemen. So Carrie, love having you in the league. hopefully you'll pull out a win this week and be 2-0, and I will continue to be
Hopefully.
0. So, all right, guys, you guys take care. Sign off with however you want your Snapchat to appear on the episode. Ready? All right. Peace out. Bye, guys.
See ya.
I'm gonna go register my car.
Bye.